Hello YouTubers and welcome to Novus Talks with me, your host Novus Gorbius, and I'm going to be talking about the final game in the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, Mario 64. Technically the first game, but I've played them backwards, so for me it's the last game. I've already done videos explaining how I felt about Mario Galaxy, and I did a video on Mario Sunshine, which I also posted on Instagram, so it makes sense. We'll do one more video for Mario 64 and then I'm going to do my thoughts on the collection overall. So Mario 64, I finished it 2 days ago, or yesterday I think. It plays exactly as I remember it. There really isn't much of a difference. I grew up with the Nintendo DS version, which I'm shocked to see that a lot of people seem to hate. I don't really get it. A lot of people have a lot of problems with it, even though there is no difference really between the games. It controls the exact same as this version, and I presume the original version. Yet people are complaining about the camera controls and all that stuff, but it's the exact same, so I don't really get it. But anyways, so Mario 64 on the Nintendo Switch, what is it like to play? Well, obviously, despite being older than Mario Sunshine, it still plays a hell of a lot better. Because if you've seen my video on Mario Sunshine is a fucking unplayable mess, and it doesn't take a lot to be more enjoyable than that. I didn't really encounter any problems with it. A lot of people were saying they had problems with the camera controls and stuff, which is understandable, especially if you haven't played the game in a long time. But for me, playing this original version for the first time ever, I didn't really encounter any problems at all. I glitched through a wall in Jolly Roger Bay once, but that was because of the little whirlpool thing at the bottom that pulled me down. But other than that, I had no problems or issues with the game. There was no bugs or anything I encountered. But the game handled completely fine. Obviously, at times, the camera system was a bit frustrating, especially if you go around a corner and you're trying to turn a camera and it will be facing as if you're in a 2D plane, but you want to walk straight forward, but with the way the camera is, you're forced to walk sideways, and so it's a way of balancing what direction you're moving in versus how the camera's turning. So when you're managing tight corners, like if you're walking across planks between two platforms and you don't want to fall to your death, those kind of moments are a bit frustrating and can be a bit anxiety inducing because the camera doesn't really behave the way it should. It's not as fluid as you'd like, really. There's a delay between controls, between when you push the buttons versus when Mario actually moves. This was in Mario Sunshine as well. It's not major, it's like 0.5 of a second of a delay, but if you pay attention you will notice it. It doesn't hinder gameplay, it doesn't affect the game in any way, but it is worth bringing up that there is that slight delay. I have a feeling it might trigger a lot of people who like OCD or something. It is what it is, really. As I said, I didn't really notice any major differences between this and the Nintendo DS version. But funnily enough, I did have a lot of fun playing this. I was expecting not to. You know, I'm not that big of a fan of Super Mario 64. It's kind of a game that I played for the sake of checking out what it is. And I enjoyed it, but I never enjoyed it that much. I was never like obsessed with it. It was just a good game, and I played it once and I'd go back to it a few months to a year later. But I only ever really completed it once or twice because I was never motivated to go back and do it again. So I was expecting not to be that motivated to play it on the Switch, because after the torment I endured trying to play Super Mario Sunshine, I figured Super Mario 64 would be exhausting as well, but since it plays the exact same as I remember, I was quite surprised actually, and I had a lot of fun with this. I did get a bit frustrated toward the end, especially in places like Tick-Tock Clock or Snowman's Land. You know, places like this triggered me a bit because of how outdated they are. They did need to be touched up a bit, but with the way they are, they do frustrate me a bit, and I'm sure they frustrate a lot of people as well. It is Super Mario 64. It is the same as you remember. If you played this game growing up, if you were a fan of it, if you were obsessed with this, by all means go for it. I would recommend trying it out on this collection. Even if you're not a fan of Mario Sunshine or even Mario Galaxy, but you like Mario 64, I would recommend getting this collection because Mario 64 plays rather well. If you can put up with the kind of frustration of trying to turn and then Mario running in circles, then you'll be okay with this game. I bought the collection only for Super Mario Galaxy, really, because that was the game I was most excited for. The way I saw it, I had Mario 64 on the DS. I had never played Mario Sunshine, so I was excited to play that. This placed excitement, obviously. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about Mario 64. It is the same as it's always been. If you didn't like it before, if it was too broken for you to play before, then it's going to be too broken for you to play now. And a lot of YouTubers bring up the fact that the game hasn't really been changed like at all, with the exception of the up-resing of the game. So if you're like anyone else and you've played a load of other different 3D games over the years that have better camera controls and better movement, then coming back to Super Mario 64 in this collection, which hasn't been updated at all, it might be a bit frustrating because obviously you'll have that extra experience of knowing that Nintendo could have done better. And I do agree, Nintendo could have done better with this. With all three of these games, they could have changed and updated them to be more accessible, but for some reason they wanted to leave them, for the most part, the way they are. And I don't really understand that, but I don't know. Nintendo wanted to be stubborn with it. That is really all I can say about it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Have you played Super Mario 64? Whether on the N64, on the DS, or now on the Switch? What do you think of all the different versions? Are you a fan of the game? Do you completely hate the game? How do you feel about it in 2020? I want to hear everything you have to say down in the comment section below. And yeah, with that all said, thank you all for watching and please subscribe. Novus Corvus out.